I like a lot of punk, and he generally likes more like
Metal.
kind of like metal and punk together, kind of. We mainly do is write music and record it. We want to do more performing, but when we do, we kind of like, so I use this pedal here, and I can kind of split things between a bass amp and a guitar amp, usually. So we can get kind of like a louder, kind of thicker sound. When we record, we tend to like put on more guitars on top of it. When we're live, like generally we get on kind of okay.
Yeah, just because we kind of split up the work, so it's like he comes up with all of the string sounds, so he has both a bass and like guitar sound, and then if I'm doing backing vocals, it does kind of sound more like a normal like 3 to 4 person band, even though there's just 2 of us.
I think also it helps that like our style, it's quite punky, so it's fairly simple but angry. We don't need like a lot of stuff as long as it's kind of loud and punchy, really.
Yeah,
right?
I think punchy is the right word.
Yeah.
It's definitely music that you want to get up and jump to, you know?
No rest for the midnight oil.
We're not very good at speaking Chinese, so
we can't at all. Not very good is,
it's a
we
compliment.
cannot.
Right. So it just takes a lot of time to get things set up for us to play live or to find places to practice.
Yeah. I think it doesn't help that we really don't like doing cover songs, just want to write our own. And most places that more foreigners go to in the city tend to have like cover bands that play like big famous songs from like the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
So it's quite hard to find a place that speaks English but also wants a band that play their own songs. I think that's probably the hardest. Good stress relief when you're angry. Like for us, we started doing this, we weren't really thinking about we're going to make an album, but it was just like work and everything, especially with the virus getting bad. A lot of stress and not a lot of chances to kind of relief, you know? So I think that's probably it for me.
Yeah, I'd say for me, I love performing and I love playing music. I just love everything about it. So even when I was young, I always had trouble finding other people to play music with, the same kind of music I like playing. So it worked out well that Robert and I met at the same company, and we're both like, oh, you play guitar, I play drums, we should play sometime. And then eventually, just because we had more time to do things in Guangzhou, it was like we found SunnyHeart and we're like, let's start practicing here. And then, you know, we were just playing all sorts of things, songs that we liked from the past or just some stuff that we had made a long time ago when we were younger. And it just kind of turned into this, we've written a lot of songs, why don't we start like producing music, like actually making an album and stuff like that.
If you just want to play music, that's fine. It's a good thing. It's it's good for cutting loose and getting a bit of energy into your life. I'd say really try and make something. Nothing for me beats like making a song myself and hearing it after it's all finished in the studio and like listening to that and showing it to everyone else, getting it in the internet and just being like, I made this and it's anyone can find it now. I think that's probably the most satisfying thing.
I would agree. I think playing music is amazing, and being able to say like, oh, I'm a great musician, I play all these types of things, it's like that's great, but you should create. It's your responsibility as someone who is playing music to try and write stuff, make your own music, and then just put it out there. Don't be afraid of criticism. Just be, I made this by myself or with my band, and now you can listen to it. Something you made.
For sure, and it's also kind of like, you don't need to be the best guitarist in the world or the best drummer in the world to help put a good song together.
Right.
If you listen to like something like the top like 10 rock songs of like a decade or of time, it's not people who can like do all this crazy stuff all the time. Don't worry about what you can't do. Focus on what you can do and try to make something with it.
Right.
The people have always been really helpful for us. Chow doesn't speak any English and we don't speak any Chinese, but it's always a nice hello and he always gives us a smoke.
He's very generous. I'm very thankful to SunnyHeart because, I mean, if it wasn't for our time practicing here, we wouldn't have met as many people who play music live and record music in Guangzhou. It took us so long just to find a good place to rehearse, and once we came here, everyone's been very friendly and open, and they, you know, share their WeChat contacts, and because of them, we were able to find our music producer that helped us make our first album, so I love this place.
Yeah, for sure.
We have an album coming out later this month to complement the 3 singles we released.
You can find us on any audio streaming, so QQ Music here in China.
QQ Music, Spotify, iTunes.
iTunes as well.